Lesbian Detectives. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it.
They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break? Or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Right now, Lesbian Detectives. Lesbian Detectives. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready to go. Pay attention to the message I present to you, the Lesbian Detectives.
This is Lesbian Detectives. I'm Sierra.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And we are here talking about missing and unsolved murders.
We are discussing cases that you have forgotten about or never even heard of.
So sit back, relax, and let's start this podcast. Welcome back, everybody, and happy Pride Month. Wear your rainbow. Don't look at us, because we're not wearing our rainbow. We are not wearing our rainbow. We are not. We gotta do better in my gay community, because we don't represent like that.
I mean, how much more gay can you get?
You marry with a wife and a kid with
Just
a
need
mortgage.
the color.
I have a tattoo. Guys. I have a gay tattoo. My wife is getting a tattoo done, guys, in 2 more weeks or 3 more weeks?
July the 11th. Do the math.
3 more weeks. We won't say 3 more weeks. But I'm excited. I forgot what she's getting.
A rising phoenix.
Raising.
For all this shit that life's put me through, I can still rise.
That's like a poem. Still I Rise. It's a good poem. You guys look it up by Maya. But this case is another LGBT. Because we only...
Don't say.
We're only doing LGBTQ plus cases. Sorry for my little mucus today. I am sick. Like, guys, I took my vitamins. Still do not know what's going on. But I took my vitamins. I got sick. My daughter got me sick. She likes to cough in our face. She's just so disrespectful. Like, I just got coughed in the face. And then that's when I got sick. So, yeah. But my wife, she's making sure that
I'm staying away.
She's staying away. Like, if me and my daughter, try to touch her, like, ew, germs. She's a germaphobe now. But with a 3-year-old that licks the floor, so I don't know how. Now, let's say my favorite line. Now, let's get into the episode. It's just after midnight in one of Atlanta's busiest neighborhoods. The bars are beginning to close. A few people are still out enjoying the warm summer night. Cars move through the roads surrounding Piedmont Park, one of the city's most popular landmarks. For most people, it's an ordinary Tuesday night. For one person, it would be the last night of her life. Somewhere in the darkness, a violent encounter is about to unfold. An attack so brutal that even experienced investigators will struggle to understand. An attack that will leave a city terrified. And despite taking place near homes, businesses, and one of Atlanta's most recognizable parts, nobody will come forward claiming to witness the murder. No arrest, no clear motive. Years later, the case remains unsolved. Tonight, we're discussing one of Atlanta's most disturbing unsolved murders. This is the case of Katherine Janness and her beloved dog, Bowie. To understand why this case affects so many people, you first have to understand who Katie was. Long before her name appeared in news headlines, Katherine was simply a daughter, a sister, a musician, a friend, and someone trying to build a life despite a difficult childhood. Katie was born on September the 4th, 1980, and raised in Detroit suburbs. By most accounts, she was a clever kid who loved music and saw the world a little differently than everyone else. But when Katie was only 8 years old, her life changed forever. Her father was convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison. Suddenly, the normal childhood she knew was gone. While other children worried about homework and soccer practice, Katie was trying to make sense of something most adults struggle to understand. Friends will later say that Katie didn't talk about it much, but there is no doubt the experience left its mark. As she got older, music became her escape. She carried a guitar almost everywhere. She went and spent countless hours writing songs. Friends remember her as quiet and reserved, the kind of person who often listened more than she spoke. But everything changed when she stepped onto that stage. In her late teens, Katie became the lead singer and guitarist of an all-female punk band called Violet Skin. People who knew her back then often described two different Katies. There was a shy woman standing in the corner of a room, and then there was a performer who seemed completely fearless under stage lights. Eventually, Katie left Michigan behind and moved to Atlanta, looking for a fresh start. The city suited her. She found work in restaurants and bars throughout Midtown and slowly built a community around herself. Over the years, she became a familiar face in the Atlanta LGBTQ community. Friends describe her as someone who was fiercely loyal and deeply compassionate, and always willing to help people who were struggling. One friend said Katie would give away her last dollar if she thought someone needed it more than she did. Another described her as the kind of person who never wanted attention for herself, but was always the person to show up when someone else needed support. Life wasn't always easy. Katie battled alcoholism for years. There were difficult periods, broken friendship, and moments where people worried about her future. But eventually she got sober. And according to those closest to her, she worked hard to stay that way. One of the habits she developed was walking. Long walks through Atlanta with her dog became part of her daily routine. That dog was Bowie, a pit bull mix who was never far from her side. Friends often joke that if you saw Katie, Bowie probably wasn't far behind. By the summer of 2021, life seems to be moving in the right direction. She was in a committed relationship. She had close friends. She was helping support her mother and her sister back in Michigan. She was preparing for an upcoming trip home to visit family she hadn't seen before the pandemic. For the people who love her, there was every reason to believe there would be many more years ahead. No one knew that in just a matter of days, Katie's life would come to a sudden and violent end. On the night of July 27, 2021, Katie took her dog Bowie for what should have been a routine late-night walk through Midtown Atlanta. It was something she often did, especially after working late shift. But that night, Katie wasn't working. Instead, her partner for 7 years, Emma Clark, was finishing her shift at Henry Midtown. At around 11:35 p.m., Katie stopped by Henry Midtown with Bowie to see Emma. The visit was brief, but important. They made a plan. Once Emma got off work, Katie would come back so they could walk home together. Emma told her she'd likely be done within the hour. Katie left and continued walking towards Piedmont Park, a place she and Bowie knew well. At 12:09 a.m., camera footage captured Katie and Bowie at the Rainbow Crosswalk on 10th Street and Piedmont Avenue, heading towards the park. This will be the last confirmed sighting of them alive. Around 12:20 a.m., Emma finished her shift and texted Katie that she was done, but Katie never responded. Emma called. No answer. Assuming Katie's phone had died, Emma walked the short distance home alone. Somewhere between 12:30 and 12:45 a.m., Emma arrived at their apartment, but Katie and Bowie wasn't there. Calls and texts still unanswered. That's when Emma opened Find My iPhone. Katie's phone was pinged inside Piedmont Park, and it wasn't moving. Emma grabbed her bike and headed straight there. A little after 1 a.m., Emma entered the park through the Charles Allen Drive and 10th Street entrance, tracking Katie's phone. Almost immediately, she saw a dark figure laying in the roadway about 50 feet ahead. It was Bowie. The dog had been brutally attacked and killed. Panic. Emma scanned the area. Then off to the right, beneath a tree just off the road, she saw another figure on the ground. It was Katie. What Emma found was so horrifying. Katie had been stabbed more than 50 times. Her body had been mutilated so severely, investigators later described it as one of the most violent attacks the city has seen in years. Emma checked for a pulse, but Katie was already gone. Terrified the killer could still be nearby, Emma ran back towards the entry and called 911. At 1:10 a.m., what investigators would find in the following hours made it clear this was no ordinary homicide. Katie was declared dead at the scene alongside Bowie. Almost immediately, the FBI was brought to assist. Something highly unusual for a city homicide investigation. Atlanta police later said the unique nature of the crime required every available resource. Law enforcement, alongside the FBI, launched a search of the park. Investigators combed through the ground for evidence. Dive teams searched the lake inside Piedmont Park, possibly looking for a weapon or sign the killer may have washed off. Police canvassed the neighborhood and reviewed camera footage from surrounding business and home. One chilling detail, investigators cut down part of the tree Katie was found beneath and took it into evidence. Just days later, the Atlanta Police Department held a press conference confirming the FBI had been called in within hours because of how unusual and brutal the crime scene was. 4 months later, in November 2021, Katie's autopsy report was released, and it painted an even more disturbing picture. Her pants had been pulled down to her knees. Her phone was found near her body. Her expensive headphones were still with her, one earbud still in her right ear, and she still had $5 in her pocket. Investigators quickly ruled out robbery as motive. The autopsy revealed Katie suffered more than 50 stab wounds, mostly on her face, chest, and torso. The letter F-A-T had been carved into her torso, suggesting possibly overkill or a message. She had at least 15 stab wounds in her head, including both eyes. Also suffered a blunt force trauma to her head and neck. Injuries separate from the stab wounds. Her official cause of death was sharp force injuries, the matter of death, homicide. Members of both the Atlanta Police Department and the FBI was present during the autopsy. And yet, despite all of this, no arrest has ever been made. Over the years, theories have exploded online. Some believe the killer may have suffered a psychotic break. Others suspect someone living in or near the park. Some have even pointed fingers at Emma, largely because police has never publicly cleared her. But there's another detail complicate that theory. At 12:46 a.m., camera footage captured a jogger entering the exact same park entrance where Katie and Bowie were later found. The same entry Emma would use roughly 20 minutes later, but the jogger turned around and exited after only 40 seconds. He later came forward and was cleared by police. What he may have seen or heard has never been made public. That detail matters because investigators know exactly when Emma entered the park. They know she followed the same path. They know where she found Katie. And they know she called 911 in a panic just minutes later. So if Emma was involved, police likely would have seen predictable pattern by now. But officially, the case remains unsolved. And whoever brutally killed Katie in the darkness of Piedmont Park that night is still out there.
But despite continued interest and periodic reviews of evidence, there has been no publicly confirmed resolution, no named suspect charged, no final explanation that fully answers every question left behind that night. And so the case remains where many unsolved cases do, not forgotten, but unresolved, still waiting for the one piece that changes everything. Before we end this case, I'd like to take a moment to remember the victim. It's easy in true crime to become focused on the mystery, the evidence, the suspects, the unanswered questions, and the investigation. But at the center of every case is a real person whose life meant something to the people around them, was more than the circumstances of her death. She was a daughter, a friend, a partner, and someone who had dreams, routines, favorite places, and people who loved her. Those who knew her remember a life lived, not just a case left unsolved. While we may never fully understand what happened that night in Piedmont Park, we can make sure Katherine is remembered for more than the tragedy that took her from those who cared about her. As long as people continue to speak her name, share her story, and seek answers, she is not forgotten. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Lesbian Detectives. If you have any thoughts about this case, feel free to share them in the comments. And if you've enjoyed today's episode, please consider following, rating, and reviewing the podcast. It helps more people discover these stories and keeps the memories of victims alive. Until next time, stay safe, take care of one another, and remember every unsolved case is a person still waiting for justice. This is the case of Katherine Janness and her beloved dog, Bowie.
Let's get into some theories. Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Lesbian detectives. What type of thoughts you thinking? What theories running through your mind? I'm thinking all types of suspicion. Uncover the truth, what we can find. Witness say they saw somebody creeping out the back door. What you think they did it for? That's so crazy, I'm not sure. They found a car, where could she be? Here go another puzzle piece. Researching through your history. It's plenty unsolved mysteries. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories, yeah. Let's get into some theories. Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Lesbian detectives.
You or me?
Go ahead.
So with this case, it's so hard because you have camera footage of only 3 people entering that park.
Mhm.
You have the jogger, Katie, and Emma, which is her fiance. You only got those 3. The jogger immediately went in. 40 seconds later, he went out. Then the fiance came 20 minutes later. So it's like, to me, I think the jogger saw something. When he saw it, he just ran away. Do I blame him because you got this crazy man killing somebody?
Or a woman.
You know what? Or a woman. I don't, because I'd be scared too. Like, I probably can't take this person, but I will call 911. I will go get help for this person. But I think it's somebody personal. Because why did you carve F-A-T in her torso? I wonder if they were trying to spell something else and they just made the mistake of putting T instead of G. But I'm thinking about it, T and G are 2 different ways of doing it, you know? So I'm like, why did he put fat then? She wasn't fat. So I'm like, it's so weird because I don't know where to go. But
Yeah, but if you have a knife, you can't really like carve out like something like that. It's kind of more like scratch.
mm-hmm.
And it took a lot of time for somebody to unalive somebody, carve something out, stab them multiple times, and leave them in plain sight. So, I mean, it could have been, that they tried to do fag instead.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like the blade, I don't think. Like, I've never cut anybody, right? But I've cut like chicken and beef.
Mm-hmm.
And if you try and cut like a C or a G, it's way harder than like just slicing,
Mm-hmm. What if it was his initials? Like, her pants was pulled down, right? What if he carved and he was about to sexual assault her, but the jogger came in and he was interrupted, right? So what if that happened?
But I'm just saying, like, it was in, like, plain sight. Like,
Mhm.
she was found fairly quickly.
Mm.
I just, unless you purposely, like, have a sick mind to where you do what you do with her and then just put her out for the whole world to see, you're trying to send a message, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that they did carve something meant that maybe they knew something
Mm-hmm.
from the suspect.
Because that had to take time. That had to take time. It's crazy because the fiance didn't come into the park at 1:10, and the jogger came around, say, 1:10, so almost like 12:40. Guys, don't quote me on the time, but like around 12:40 something or 12:50. So that means they possibly had to see something. I wonder if the police asked, or he was just scared. He like I saw what he was doing to her. I do not want that because her death was violent. He had to, he stabbed her. He beat her in her eyes. He stabbed and beat her in her eyes. That took time. And to carve her, that took time. I wonder, was he stalking her? Because,
I don't know. To me, at 11 o'clock to go to a park, you're kind of, it's not the best people are out there. I know people that don't really have a place to be will go and hide at parks and
Mhm.
stuff like that. So I don't, I think maybe somebody just sought an opportunity. Like, unless she was going to the park every time around that same time.
she does nighttime walks, but it's different times each day. So it's probably never the same time because she used to go to the park after her shift because her fiance was still at work. So it's like, it was a different schedule. So it wasn't her normal.
I think the jogger, though, should have either stopped for help or called 911 while he was running away. It seems a little sus to me that he just took off. I don't know what exactly he was wearing, but say you commit some type of murder or something. I know some guys like run shirtless and just have like shorts. Like, did you get rid of your clothing or did you like have some water, like where you could rinse, some stuff out? I don't know. Like, not a lot of people to me, or not a lot of people that I know are out in the park at that time.
Right. So I had to get my information back out. So Katie entered the park at 12:09. At 12:20, that's when her fiance Emma finished her shift. And then she called round and she got home around 12:30 to 12:45. And then that's when she arrived at the park at 1:10. So there really wasn't an hour, if you really think about it, that he did all this. Because if she got into the park at 12:09 and Emma found her at 1:10, that wasn't an hour. So he did that much damage in less than an hour.
Well, it could have been the jogger.
And that's what I'm saying, because because Emma came at 1:10, right? What's 20 minutes before 1:10?
12:50.
12:50. At 12:50, that's when Emma was calling her and stuff like that, seeing where she was at. So it's like the jogger had to, I don't know. It's just weird that the jogger, I'm not saying it's the jogger guy, but I'm saying he saw something. You had to see something.
It's probably going to be the jogger. Like, who else can it be? Unless whoever did it didn't take that exit. Like, they jumped the fence.
Or they went a different interest, made sure, because you know where the cameras are. So he probably made sure he wasn't on camera. But I feel like the jogger saw something. You cannot tell me otherwise.
Then
And
why don't you come forward?
he came forward to the police, but we don't know what that conversation was. He never said what happened in that park or what he saw. He just said, like, hey, I was there. I didn't do anything. Police like, yeah, we know you didn't do anything because you came back. You came out the park 40 seconds later. But did you see something? But we don't know what he said to the police. And for the police to get the FBI in so early, come on.
I mean, are there other homicides from that park?
You know what? And that's what a lot of folks said. They're like, is there a serial killer going around in that park? Because for you to come get the FBI so quick, something else may have happened.
There's a pattern.
But the police are like, no. But the police probably have to say, like, no, it's not a serial killer. But to me, I feel like, I watch a lot of Criminal Minds. I know how real it is. About the second or third unaliving, they're going to call the FBI to come help them.
Yeah, because I know, like, a lot of them, they don't like other, or like the FBI, like within their jurisdiction, they try to avoid other people or other agencies. So if you feel like you have to bring in the big guns, it's probably because you're dealing with something big. The FBI and the police were at the autopsy.
Right. So it's like, what? Like, I don't know, because they did call him in so soon. Like, within 30 to an hour, the FBI was there. So it's like, why so early? Because this was like, I won't say a normal unaliving, because nothing's normal. But it was like, what did you see for you to do it? And they also cut down half the tree she was found under. Why you cut down that tree? It's like so many things that's flabbergasted to me.
I mean, it does sound like a serial killer, because who would take the time to carve out a message to, like, really, like, divulge in a murder? Like, unless you enjoy, like, murdering somebody, I don't see why you have to do all of this extra stuff. An accident, like, I understand, that happens. You might see, like, one or two things, but you're not going to see repeated attacks.
And then what if, like, the serial killer was unaliving people that the police didn't believe that was important? Like prostitutes or sex workers.
They usually have a niche, like they target certain people, usually.
Usually they do, but they gonna go with the person that police don't care about in the beginning to, like, build up their confidence. Then they gonna go for, somebody police cares about, like, which was Katie. I'm just saying, like, that's how police believe, because what if they saw the carving, like, oh shoot, we have seen this before around this area. I kind of look into that. I never really thought that it might be a serial killer, but now, guys, I have to do the research to see if it is, because it might be. I'll let you guys know the next episode, because I just have to know. I'm being on Google a lot tonight. Probably hard to find it if it's not in news article, That's the only thing that's up. But I'm going to have to call James. James, got a phone call coming. But guys, that is our episode. I think it was a stranger. You think it was a stranger or / serial killer?
Serial killer.
Well, it's the same thing.
It's somebody who sought an opportunity and took it.
So / serial killer. I agree with you. That is our episode. Don't forget, we're on all podcast platforms and YouTube and social media. So come check out our social media page. I do a little clip before the episode is released so you can know what the next episode will be. Thank you for watching. This is Lesbian Detectives. Don't forget, everybody's a suspect
till proven innocent.
Goodbye.
Lesbian Detectives. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it.
They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Right now. Lesbian Detectives. Lesbian Detectives. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready, let's go. Pay attention to the message I present to you, the Lesbian Detectives.